spotlights shine them bright. Gonna have a brand new show tonight, with glitz and glam on the marquee. Perhaps a Tony nominee. Stars beam brightly, see them glow. Sell out nightly, SRO. It's time to applaud the Broadway beat. Stars beam brightly, see them glow in the footlights of a show. Life is sweet on the world's most famous street.
Tickets, please.
Take a seat.
Cue the band.
And tap your feet to the rhythm of the Broadway beat. The Broadway beat. Broadway beat.
Hello, I'm Richard Ridge, and welcome to Broadway Beat, our weekly half-hour behind-the-scenes look at the very best of the New York theater on Broadway and beyond. Michael Bennett's landmark musical, A Chorus Line, is back on Broadway at the Show and Fell Theater. Mr. Bennett conceived, directed, and choreographed this masterpiece about 17 dancers auditioning for a Broadway musical who bear their souls along the way. A Chorus Line features music by Marvin Hamlisch, lyrics by Edward Kleban, and a book by James Kirkwood and Nicholas Dante. The original production, which still remains the longest-running American musical in Broadway history, went on to win the Pulitzer Prize and 9 Tony Awards, including Best Musical. This new production is directed by the original Tony Award-winning co-choreographer Bob Avian, and Mr. Bennett's choreography is being restaged by original cast member Byork Lee. We recently stopped by the opening night celebration for A Chorus Line to chat with the creators and the new cast.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Very proud, very proud. I think it's a wonderful cast. The show holds up beautifully. It doesn't feel dated to me at all. It feels very much like it's about today's world, today's kids, today's whatever. And it's just, I think, something that's very special in my heart because of Michael Bennett and Ed Kleban, and these guys did a great job, you know. And Bob Avian, of course, has now brought it back and done a wonderful job with Byork, and so I'm very, very, very happy about it.
It must have brought back so many memories for you. Talk about working with Michael Bennett, what it was creating this brand new musical that no one had ever seen the prototype for before.
The first time I ever met Michael Bennett, I said to him after watching some of his work, I said, I'm putting you down in my Rolodex under G for genius, not B for Bennett. He's always remained in my book under G. He was a visionary. He saw it, and he probably knew how to make something on Broadway sizzle. It's kind of interesting if you notice, this is his year. You got Chorus Line, you got Dreamgirls, you know, so he was certainly ahead of the curve, you know.
Let's talk about the audience's reaction. The night that I was there was young kids.
Yeah.
There were 10-year-olds, 20 years old.
I think that this talks to each generation, and I think that tonight, even though it's a special audience, I was here a couple of days ago, same type of audience going crazy, so that's wonderful. The word of mouth is wonderful, and that's what makes the show.
How proud would Michael Bennett be tonight?
Kvelling.
Yeah, I started as a chorus dancer, and then I became a principal actor, and then I became a director, and now I'm able to do sort of all three at the same time in this role. So I relate to all the aspects of Zach. At the end of the show, when I'm with the rest of the chorus and we're all part of the finale, you know, that's the world I started in. So it's really kind of pulling my whole world full circle for me, which is, you know, it's such a privilege to be a part of this show, and I am madly in love with this cast. Every one of them. I think they're so full of love and life for the art form. I think it's really important, and I think New York is really ready, don't you? For something so joyous and historic to come back. It's simple, it's clean. You have to really do it well because there's nothing to hide behind, you know. There's no giant set pieces. It's all about real people telling real stories and doing it in a theatrical way. I love it. I just love it.
You start.
Oh God, great! It's stupendous, like a milestone, relief, and anticipation of the run to come.
Oh yeah, absolutely relief. It's been a 9-month, slow hill, and now we're here, and it's all of a sudden we're at the top of the mountain. It's amazing. It's absolutely wonderful.
Well, tell me what the journey's been like with just working on this show.
Well, it's been interesting because, of course, this isn't it's a recreation, so we're not doing something brand new. So it was really nice to know, okay, Judy, you're on 4. Okay, great, I'm going. And it was really nice to know that I didn't have to fight for a spot. I knew that Patricia Garland put me there, and I loved it. And I loved going there, and instead of worrying about, oh, where do I go, I was able to take what I had and use what I had as a person to just sit there and create this role, and I'm sure you feel the same way.
Yeah, within the confines of what Michael Bennett gave us, we have all this freedom to actually develop characters of our own, and that's amazing. I'll also say that working with people who you've seen in other shows, finally on the stage with them and sharing the space, it's been an awesome experience.
Yes. It was. It's like we're giving this back to an audience, and it's like we're just giving this to them, and from our hearts. We're completely sincerely, honestly, and it's just such a joy to do this every night. I think
every night, and we have. I mean, I think Tony and I came together and really evolved our relationship as husband and wife in the business, and also really going to the reality of not being able to sing in this business. So it's been awesome to be able to play with that, play with the song, play with each other. It's been fun.
Because you both play Al and Christine, who are the married couple in the show, and the chemistry between the two of you is such an important thing, and you guys have it.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, it's just fun. I mean, we get to just be fun on stage. We get to play a little bit. Our director was a little lenient with what we could do on stage. He kind of trusts us, so we got up there and we just kind of play with each other every night. Like a married couple would do, bicker and fight and love each other, and it's great.
And him being there for me too, and having that support as Christine, forgetting her sentences and stuff like that. It's like I need him. I can't be up there without him. So it's been a great help. And his voice, hello.
It has been a dream come true. It has been a fulfillment. This literally was my first show I ever did professionally. I mean, ever to get paid for. So to come in here and to get to do this in the same role is just fulfilling, and to have Bob Avian and Bayark to hand it to me, it's just so satisfying. I feel like I'm anointed. Oh, yes, you really can do the show. I don't know. It's a really nice feeling.
And talk about the role that you play.
Oh, Gregory Gardner. It's so funny. I knew Chris Chadman, and I studied with him. Yeah, you knew him. I loved him. He really made me a Broadway dancer. I certainly went to Broadway Dance Center, and I worked as a scholarship student for him. For the place, and I ended up taking his class a lot, and he brought me into Broadway, and just watching him, and he was the prototype for my part, one of the prototypes, Gregory Gardner, Chris Chapman.
How proud would Chris have been tonight?
Oh my God. Yeah, I think he would be, and I think he would be very happy that it was me too, actually. I think we kind of had a nice connection, so and I think he's smiling down, I really do.
You get goosebumps during the show like we do as the audience?
Oh yeah, and what's beautiful is it happens in different places every single night. That's how alive the show is. The piece is that alive. And that's such a rare thing to be in a show that it does okay, it knocks you right when you think, oh, I got it. No, you don't. It sneaks up on you, and it's amazing as an actress to get a chance to experience that.
You have so many incredible moments in the show, but doing at the ballet, what that means?
It's when I first saw the show, it was not my favorite number. And now that I'm older, I've connected to a different way. And then on top of that, my own personal story with the family, it hits so hard tonight. It was really hard to keep it together, to be honest with you. But to get a chance to do that number and to do it with Alison Porter and Mara Davi is a dream come true, because I'm in heaven. I feel like the luckiest girl in the whole world.
Everything was beautiful at the ballet. Graceful men lift lovely girls in white. Yes, everything was beautiful at the ballet. I was happy at the ballet. One morning, sis won't go to dance class. I grab her shoes and tights and all, but my foot's too small, so I stuff her shoe with extra socks. Run 7 blocks in nothing flat, and I can do that. I can do that.
This is, to be a cliche, but totally true. It's a dream come true for me, to be honest. I mean, it's amazing. What can I say? And it's an honor to be a part of this.
I agree. I mean, this is like everything you see in the movies and on television, and the fact that this is all about us and tonight is just, it's, you know, I agree with him. It's just incredible. I mean, this speechless is just how I feel right now.
Of course, you follow in the footsteps of the great Sammy Williams, and you in the footsteps of the great Wayne Cilento.
Yeah.
So what was it like tonight of having a lot of the originals out in the audience tonight, and Marvin Hamlish?
You know, well, Marvin is awesome. I've met with him before, and he's been a part of this process, and he's been great and completely supportive. In terms of having all those other people in the audience, I really just tried not to think about that at all, because the whole point of the show is that nobody is there. So I just tried to give it, you know, my best shot the way I would do any other show, which is putting all my focus on Zach and getting the job.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely found myself thinking about it a little bit before the show, and then kind of like Jason, it was truly, okay, zone it all out. And anytime I felt myself drifting, I was just like, you are here to get this job. That's your mission tonight. That's it. So, and the more I did that, the more I just did my show and had a blast.
Amazing. It's overwhelming. It's a beautiful night. I mean, thinking about the original cast members being out there was probably the most moving part of the night for me.
How well did you know the show before you were cast?
I knew it. I had seen it. I had done it in college. I'd grown up with it. It means a great deal to me. It's always been a part of my life.
And talk about the role that you play.
I play Maggie Winslow, and I mean, she is the part I've always wanted to play in this show. She's dear to my heart. She's kind of a shy girl, but with a huge passion for performing, and she really touches my heart.
Oh, I feel on top of the moon right now. It's pretty amazing. It's really exciting, totally exciting. I mean, you know, it's chorus line, and it took me to get to this point tonight to actually have it click. I know what all these people are talking about and what it means, you know, so.
Talk about what it's been like working on this with Bjork Lee and Bob Avian and Marvin Hamlish.
Well, personal experience to this point, I never saw the movie, I never saw the stage production, so I didn't know what Chorus Line was truly about until, you know, I got to work with Bjork and Bob. And Michael Gorman, we have to say his name because he's right there along with them. So it's just an amazing experience to find out all these stories that are so rich in history, 30, 35 years old, and we get to represent them, but also bring our own personal stories as gypsies. I've personally been in this business for 12 years now, and, you know, it's brought me kind of back to roots as an ensemble member, because we are all ensemble members. We just happen to be a principal member just by a contract for this show. But other than that, we're an ensemble, and this is for every ensemble member who has ever performed in any show. Broadway, regional, stock, whatever.
So much fun. I'm so honored to be able to portray a part that I have loved since I was so young, and I know there are so many people who come up to me and go, Tits and Ass is my favorite one, Tits and Ass is my favorite one, so that's a lot of pressure too. But no, I get to have so much fun and not really care every night, you know, and just go out there and give them my stuff.
And to watch kids, I've seen kids walk in to see this production who don't know about musicals, don't like musicals, don't understand me, and they sit there and they're mesmerized, and they walk out and say, I've never seen anything like this before. And it's sort of, it is mesmerizing to a lot of young people, because this is a form of theater that, well, regretfully doesn't really exist anymore. And Michael's genius was so extraordinary that it never really went any further. You know, he did it with Dreamgirls, but that's what's important to me, that young people can see it and be inspired to become a dancer or an actor or whatever, you know.
How proud would Michael Bennett be tonight?
Well, I hope. That's my dream, that somewhere he's around us right now, smiling down at us, because there was nobody I was closer to as a friend, as a client, and we did it for him, really, as much as anything else. I think he's happy. I really do.